So we're getting our first sort of serious signal that this could be a really ugly midterm election for Democrats. And it comes from none other than the Georgia Senate race, where former NFL football player Herschel Walker, who we've covered quite a bit, I mean, he's one of the least qualified people running for Senate right now, is leading the incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock. We're going to look at polling, and it would be funny if it weren't so sad and scary. So, new Emerson College poll. Georgia, Walker versus Warnock. Walker leading 49-45 with 6% undecided. Now, of course, there's a 3% margin of error either way and 6% undecided. So this could go either way, but these are not good numbers. And this is not the only poll that has it this way. If we look at the Real Clear Politics page, where you could see a number of the recent polls, you see that Walker is leading by an average of 1.6. He's +4 in the Emerson poll I just mentioned. Walker is +1 in the recent Quinnipiac poll. Walker is +3 in the AJC poll. And then back in August of last year, in the Democratic-leaning poll, Raphael Warnock was ahead. So we don't have that much polling, but none of it looks particularly good for Raphael Warnock, and this should genuinely scare us. This is one of the most uninformed people that is running for prominent office. Raphael Warnock, for whatever you may like or dislike about him, particularly as the incumbent, to see him doing this poorly is very bad. Remember that we've talked about recently, Herschel Walker, not Raphael Warnock, said, if evolution is real, why are there still apes? Remember this brilliant analysis?
Here, that means somebody up there had to say, let there be light, that the earth started, and then he had to put someone there on earth. Because remember, Adam was there. Remember, Adam came there, then Eve came. So somebody had to start it out. So that means it had to be a God. Because it didn't just some bomb blew up and it started out. And then I'll tell you something else I heard. Now think about this, because at one time, science said man came from apes.
Right.
Did it not?
That's when you go to the science. Every time I read or hear that, I think to myself, you just didn't read the same Bible I did.
Well, this was interesting, though. If that is true, why are there still apes? Think about it.
You know, now you're getting too smart for us.
No. Think about this. We have an evolution that is, we've gotten so intelligent that if that is true, why are there still apes?
Right. Now, of course, we've talked about this so many times before. Well, modern apes and modern humans have a shared ancestor a really long time ago. And if dogs evolved from wolves, why are there still wolves? And yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but this guy's winning. This guy's winning. And this is what we're up against. And the voters hear that and they go, that's better than Raphael Warnock. That's a real problem. That's a real problem. Here's another one of Herschel Walker at a recent Trump rally. I think this one was about two weeks ago, saying that he's sick of CTR. Whoa, that's crazy. CTR.
For this country, people want to ask me all the time why I'm running. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of them wanting to teach CTR in school, critical race theory. Can you tell me what that means?
Yeah. Well, let's start getting the acronym correct, which is, of course, CRT. This is the guy that's winning. This is the guy that might replace Raphael Warnock in the Senate. So it's very difficult. You know, in general, elections aren't isolated. And what I mean by that is, if there's a bunch of incumbents, if there's one incumbent knocked out, there will probably be a bunch of incumbents knocked out. But if I think of a sort of bellwether representation of the midterms, if you see the incumbent Raphael Warnock lose to a guy who can barely string together a coherent thought, and again, if he has a brain injury from playing football, okay, I mean, it's not been announced that he does. Maybe it's possible, but it's dubious whether the guy even kind of has his head on straight. If Raphael Warnock loses to this guy, it is really going to be a bad sign for what the midterms have in store. And it's probably a bad sign for 2024. It's probably a bad sign for Joe Biden in general in his second 2 years of his presidency. Never underestimate the stupidity of the electorate. That's what we learned from Trump in 2016 when I was part of it, saying, the country wouldn't be so dumb as to vote. The Republicans wouldn't be so dumb as to make this guy their nominee, right? And they were. And then, well, the country wouldn't be so dumb as to make this guy and they did. This is a red alert emergency. It could be disastrous for Democrats. It could be disastrous for the country. And those polls look terrible.